Hello everyone and welcome to today's cryptocurrencies update for August the 19th. Let's go straight to the charts because the anticipated pullback is clearly here. Nothing out of the ordinary. We were looking for this quite a while ago for completion of these leading diagonals or impulses for several other tickers, and that will always lead to a pullback. And remember, if these are indeed leading diagonals, the pullback will be swift and deep, pretty much back to the beginning of the leading diagonal, which is not necessarily the June lows, but when this pattern starts to emerge, which is often the second or fourth wave low. So let's have a look on where that would be, especially in detail for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Please remember the Grayscale Ethereum Trust looks very bullish in that sense of a impulse higher. So do the mining companies Mara and RIOT. And now that we have more price data available, this wave 2/B pullback can be filled in more detail. That's simply the way things go. We do know there's going to be a pullback. We of course don't know how this pullback is going to be. Eventually we'll get enough price data available. Because remember, we start often off with simple ABC correction as a zigzag. It's the simplest of corrections, but it can become a flat. Now, second waves cannot become a triangle, so we exclude that one for now. But we can also get a double zigzag. We can get a double flat, a flat within a flat. Tesla, for example, over the last 6-7 months, did a flat within a flat within a flat. So that's how complex corrections can be. You don't know that beforehand. Nobody knows that beforehand. That doesn't mean the Elliott Wave doesn't work. The Elliott Wave works brilliantly. It's most of the time people's brains that don't work in comprehending this. So we need to always have an open mind, let price fill itself in. We know the pullback is coming. We don't know yet how it's going to fill itself in. And eventually we'll get enough price data. So if you still have problems with that, please sign up for my crypto trading alerts. You don't have to assess anything. You just follow up on the trade alerts if you so desire. Join my hedge fund. There's many ways to use my services to your advantage. Again, nobody knows what's going on every single moment of the day, but we can get a pretty good agreement on what we think is going on. And so far, I think things have been moving along quite nicely. That still doesn't mean I'm right all the time. I always say I am wrong to prove right. That's the way it is. And now we'll have time to go to the charts, and then we go back to the summary. So let's start here with Cardano. Cardano would have looked much better with a final fifth wave. We didn't get it, so I'm afraid this wave 1A, 2B is not going to happen, and that we're going to see new lows on Cardano. So this is where you track, you anticipate it's not going to happen, and you're not gonna stick with it, but you're gonna adapt. Please remember my crypto trading alerts, for example, went long Cardano, but already sold and got stopped out for a winning trade way before any of this mini flash crash happened. That's the beauty of selling into strength. That's the beauty of raising stops, all those things. You got to do that all the time. We're not going to be hodlers and bag holders and eventually cry for mama when we lose all our money. That's not how it works. So then we move on to BinanceCoin. So Cardano is kind of back on the back burner again because it's not really fulfilling the promised leading diagonal, as we see, for example, here for Avalanche. Please note, if price at any moment goes below the June lows, my assessment here is completely wrong. As I said before, I'm wrong to prove right. So the June lows are the line in the sand. I'll show you using Bitcoin how things will then look instead, okay? For now, things are moving along quite nicely, but diagonals can also be B waves or fourth waves. So please keep that in mind because of their overlapping nature. But it still looks good. And again, when diagonals happen, the price collapse, once it's complete, is swift. And that's what we're seeing right now. So everything is still behaving as expected. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all ABCs. And we're already in the target zone, but I think we can move a little bit lower between $20 and $17 for this B2. We should, of course, after a 2-month rally overlapping, also see a multi-week corrective pattern. So most likely only wave A of B has completed. And then we'll see how exactly wave B and wave C unfold. And I'll show you, for example, for Bitcoin and Ethereum, what I'm expecting. BinanceCoin looks nice as well. I was already looking lower a week ago, and that's what we got. We are now close to 272. Intraday, we got 278. So I think this path, as I had painted in days ago, is filling in nicely. We should probably find support here in this green region between 250 and 270, roughly. Get a bounce and then another leg lower. Again, this could turn into a flat as well, where we go lower, make a new uptrend high, then lower again, an A, a B, and a C. To be seen, but I prefer the kind of zigzag pattern, fast and furious, so to say, to wrong foot everyone from a sentiment perspective. So far, so good. The breakout is still holding. The anticipated path is unfolding nicely. I see no reason to change my tune. So here's Bitcoin. I already adapted the wave count to this orange 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because we did not get that stab higher. Now my original target was around 27,500 plus or minus 1,000. Why? Because that is the May low here. So that's what I was looking for a retest. That is quite normal to expect. We didn't get it. Does that mean my whole thesis is wrong? No, not at all. It simply means we get there. You have to have an anticipation way before things start, and then you track things along. We got as high as 25,203. So not too far off. I would say off by 2,000. That's 10%, considering where we started making that assessment. What we do see here is definitely a very diagonal pattern, which looks to me still like a leading diagonal. I then was looking for about 21,000 plus or minus 1,000, assuming we would go to 27,000, where we didn't go to 27,000, we went to 25,000. So that also means that the ideal downside target for wave 2/B needs to be lowered. So I'm now looking here for about 20,000 plus or minus 1,000. That's of course a rough sketch. If we do Fibonacci retrace levels, we should expect somewhere between 2,500 and 19,400, somewhere around there, the 61 to 76.4% retrace. So still close between 20,000 plus or minus 1,000. Then of course we know from how diagonals work that you get a, as I said, collapse back to the start of the triangle, this wave 2 here, or about here, or maybe this wave 4. So that would be a low at around 18,500 and about 21,500, which is this green target zone. So we get a nice confluence in target zones, the green one, and I should maybe draw the red one in as well, just to make sure we get a good understanding. So there, right, that is what we're looking for. That would pretty much also bring us to a secondary higher low, quite common for cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, to do. I anticipate a B, and a C as shown. So the gray arrows are now the anticipated path going forward. I would be pleasantly surprised if the current decline is all of this wave 2/B already. I think we need more time to fill this in, considering we've done a longer rally than just a 2-week rally. This is a 2-month rally. Again, my assessment will be completely wrong if we drop below the June lows. If that is the case, we're going to go to 12,000 or lower, because then we have a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. The chart I'm showing now is a weekly chart. Then I will have to move, I'll show you, this wave 3 high here in blue to that in 2021. I don't like it. I don't like this alternative wave count of a very large expanded flat wave 4, but it is certainly possible. The reason is that the decline here in the summer of last year was, in my own opinion, much better. A 5-wave decline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this wave 4 decline here with this alternative longer, bigger picture wave count is way too shallow compared to the previous 1 degree lower, 2 degree lower type of wave we had also of the 4th degree. So that's all off, but we'll let the market be the final arbiter. Then we had 3 down, 3 up, 5 down, which is a large flat. I don't like it. I prefer, this wave count, it looks much better, but also even this wave count can allow for 12,000. So again, then all we had was a B, and a C wave on a break below the June lows. So what does that mean? Once we start reaching these target zones, you have a low risk buying opportunity, meaning a stop can be placed at the June 18 lows. If we go below that, we can target as low as 12,000. So you don't want to get caught on that because you will lose a lot of money. Yeah, you think it's going to go back up. Well, maybe it won't ever go back up. So please remember that. That's what stops are for. Stops are lifesavers. Anybody who trades without stops is an amateur retail investor and should lose all their money to learn the lesson. I really, really think so. That is the hard way to go about. So then we'll target 12,000. Again, that is still a possibility. Please keep that in mind. This rally here does look impulsive in the sense of a leading diagonal, but leading diagonals are very tricky, very hard to interpret. So this is my best bullish interpretation. So please keep that in mind that we're moving towards this low risk target zone. There's never no risk, but if you use then an appropriate stop loss, which is the June lows, you manage that risk. All you need to do when you're trading is manage your risk, nothing else. Risk is managed by having stops in place and by selling into strength. I can't say it often enough. That's the only way to mitigate risk, because the higher things go, the more likely we'll see a larger correction. And you don't want to get caught in those corrections, so sell into that strength. So ultimately, June lows need to hold, very loud, clear and simple, or we go to 12,000. And if you want to get caught on that, please then don't do stops and be my guest. So here's Ethereum. Ethereum also looks better as a diagonal. I've moved the wave 2 low here from late June to late July. Again, it's an interpretation, how exactly going to interpret the wave counts. But then we have a nice ABC for wave 2, an ABC for wave 3, and an ABC for wave 5. Why? Because we didn't get that last, if you remember from the previous updates, wave 5 of 1. We didn't. I said on Wednesday, those lows need to hold on Wednesday. They didn't. Okay, so now we're facing the consequences and we're breaking lower. You can see price has now collapsed out of this uptrend line. So expect an A, a B, and a C, something like along these lines. I don't know yet exactly where wave A will bottom, where wave B will top, but this is something what I expect. So somewhere around 1600 for wave A, back to about 1800 for wave B, and then this wave C of 2B into this 1300 to 1200 target zone. Please remember, Ethereum can go all the way back here to about 1,000. It's very possible that would be the start of this diagonal. The start is here, which is very close, of course, to the 870 lows. Okay, so please keep, or 860s low, somewhere around there, whatever the low is. So please keep that in mind. Here we have these simple standard retraces for a second wave, but this is the general path to anticipate for this wave too. Nothing out of the ordinary. Yes, I would have liked to see that last little fifth wave higher. I was ideally looking for a retest of the 200-day simple moving average based on simple anticipations. But now that more price data has filled itself in, this looks pretty good. The bullish case for Ethereum is also made by the grayscale. As I shared with you before, this looks like a clean impulse high. So we should now be in wave A of larger B, and we'll get a wave B and a wave C. Note here we have a gap here at around $9.50. So that could technically be filled because wave 2B here, as shown between 38.2 and 61.8, can of course go all the way to the 76.4% retrace, as I showed you for actual Ethereum. Nothing out of the ordinary if we go to 76.4. Polygon, MATIC, doing exactly as anticipated for wave 5. I would have liked to see 1.2. Beggars can't be choosers. Looks good. A, B, C for wave 2. Nothing out of the ordinary, doing exactly as anticipated for weeks, honestly. So I like it, but that also then tells me, okay, I've been right in that sense so often where I'm going to go wrong, and that's why we have to make sure that we're not going to break below the June lows. Solana also looks better as this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave count. It's back at support here, 34.25. We got to 35.57, pretty close. Still doesn't look done. Again, the June lows are the final arbiter. Because if not, then this was a corrective bounce, and then all we got was a large A, a B, and a C. It looks better as a diagonal, so I prefer this diagonal. But we do need to hold, of course, the June lows. Those are the ultimate lines in the sand. What does give me confidence for a bullish resolution as well are the mining companies. This is Mara. I think we did a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with an extended ending diagonal wave 5. And this now looks on Mara as 5 waves low. If we get 5 waves lower, that means, and it's a corrective pattern, it's a 535, which is a zigzag. Cannot be a flat because a flat is a 335. So we should soon bottom here for wave 5 of wave A. We get a wave B bounce back to about $16, and then a wave C. Note, if we assume that we have bottomed today, don't know it yet, I don't see a reversal just yet, that then we should go to around $16, and then the CSA relationship targets here around $10 to $11 at the lower end of this ideal wave 2B target zone in red. Picture perfect. Wouldn't surprise me. A nice A, B, C. Where exactly wave 5 of A is going to bottom to be determined. Can go all the way to 11. Then, of course, the price levels will be moved lower for wave B and for wave C. And then wave 2/B can easily go to $9 to be determined. But this is filling in nicely. So I already anticipated this top here. I think that was August 10. I was off by a day. That's fine. And now we're getting enough price data to start to know how exactly this wave 2B is going to transpire in price and in time. It's fantastic how the Elliott wave works. In more detail then for RIOT, also looks nice as this impulse higher, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, picture perfectly. Also here anticipated the high here, I believe was August 9 or 10, off by a day. This looks also good as an impulse, not as clean and clear as from Mara, but it's fine. Assuming we bottom today, maybe a little bit lower on Monday, wouldn't surprise me. Then we get something like this in more detail, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, or wave B, to around $9, plus or minus a little bit. And then we get our CSA relationship all the way down here, potentially to $5.50. Note here in red, this was the ideal anticipated wave 2/B target zone. Already reached it. Nothing, no surprises, no surprises whatsoever. We might simply go lower and reach the 76.4% retrace. That would fill this gap here at around $5.8, $5.9. Wouldn't surprise me either. So far the anticipated path looks pretty good. Things are moving along nicely. If the mining companies are bullish, meaning once we've completed 2/B, we'll get 3/C. I think that's also bullish for the cryptos, though I don't want to really correlate things, but most of the time they are related. So we have very nice setups here. Things are moving along quite nicely. The motive waves, most of its leading diagonals are complete. So everything is still nicely on track, but we do need to make a few adjustments. That's normal. We always have to adjust as more price data becomes available. So instead of 27,500 for Bitcoin, we only got 25,500 around there. So we have to adjust some of the price targets lower. But otherwise, things moving along nicely. More price data available, so we can fill in the anticipated correction better. And remember, I am wrong to prove right. So below the June lows, that is, for example, for Bitcoin, then we're looking for 12,000. Please be aware of it. Cardano, I was looking, it said it would look better with the last 5 wave, must hold 50 cents. It's not holding 50 cents. So now it starts to look better as 3 waves up. I'm expecting lower lows on this one. Avalanche, I said must hold $2.50. It did not hold it, so the leading diagonal appears complete. BinanceCoin, I said below 290 suggests the larger wave 1A has completed. Yep, wave 2B is now underway. Bitcoin, I already said, has technically done enough waves up to suggest the leading diagonal is complete. Why? Because it had to move above 24,600, which was the previous third wave high. It reached 25,300, 400, whatever it was. We've done enough, so now this larger correction is underway. The low risk buying opportunity is presenting itself, but that doesn't mean it's no risk. There's always risk involved, but we manage it. Ethereum, I said, needs to hold Wednesday's low to allow for 2,200. If not, then 1,400 is next. Well, it didn't hold Wednesday's low, neither Tuesday's low. So wave 2/B is now underway. I have shared with you the detailed anticipated path. Ethereum's Grayscale Trust Fund did, in my opinion, 5 waves up. This does support the bullish case for Ethereum, meaning once wave 2/B completes, wave 3/C should start. Polygon completed the 4-5 sequence, now in wave 2B. It's confirmed on a move below 85 cents. That's what I said on Wednesday. We're below 85 cents, so wave 2B is underway. Solana said I cannot exclude a last fifth wave, but it must hold 37.5 for that to transpire, that fifth wave. Well, it didn't hold it, so the leading diagonal looks complete. Lastly, RIOT still look as a completed impulse higher, picture perfect, and in diagonal fifth waves, supports the bullish case for Ethereum and of course Bitcoin, etc. So the correction seems now to be unfolding as a 535 zigzag with the first leg lower soon completed. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. Take care, trade safe, and I see you all on Monday.